Lexline is a company that makes high quality upgrades for many Toyota models and even the F-150. This phone charging pad is an example. Now this particular Land Cruiser that we're in has a phone charging pad because it's a mid-trim, but the 1958 has no phone charging pad. Now I don't have this installed, but it is plug and play. It has OEM fitment. You probably noticed this in the same shape as the phone charging pad area. Not only is this easy to install, it's completely reversible. So after you uninstall it, nobody will know the difference. If you're looking for a seamless high quality upgrade for your car, use my discount code in the description down below. Hybrid 2.5 liter 4-cylinder paired to an eCVT, 245 horsepower. I've been able to average just over 35 miles per gallon, giving me over 600 miles of driving range because it has an 18-gallon fuel tank. And a quick side note, it's crazy that the LX has a smaller fuel tank than the Sienna. It's a 17.9 gallon in the LX. But either way, if you're looking for more straight to the point reviews and long-term tests like this, make sure you subscribe. Now, of course, I like this color. I kind of have a thing for green. It's, I don't know, one of the better colors on cars, I think, especially dark green like this. Daytime running lights, pretty cool. You do have fog lights at the bottom, and then you've got a massive grille, and you even have a front splitter. Even though the Sienna is a minivan, it's pretty darn aggressive looking. 235 by 60 by 18 for the tire and wheel setup. You got more of an aggressive looking wheel on this. It is lifted by about an inch compared to regular Sienna, but this is definitely a lipstick package. Because at the end of the day, this is a long wheelbase minivan. It's still pretty low to the ground. I mean, just to give you guys an idea of how low this is to the ground. The LX has hydraulic suspension and completely bottomed out with the suspension. It still has more clearance than the Sienna. Now when it comes to key fob features, we have our lock and unlock. You got the opening for the doors, the hatch, the Toyota logo there at the bottom. Now this is one of the things that I like about the Sienna and just minivans in general. You've got a large cargo area, you can easily fold the seats down. If you have the seats folded up, there is storage in that little cubby right there. We have a 1500 watt inverter here in the back as well. And then the rear passengers not only get USB ports, but you'll notice they also have their own sunshades in the back. And then last thing to note, like most minivans, you can fit adults in the back. I mean, every single row is comfortable in a minivan. The packaging is all about moving people. The taillight design is very intriguing. And then you've got all the badging here. Most of it's blacked out. The Woodland badge has kind of like a grayish hue to it. That will cap things off for the exterior of the Woodland. Let's take a look at the interior. Now the seats do not have perforations, so they're much easier to clean. They do have adjustments. Everything is nicely labeled there on the side. And then you get the special Woodland mats. And, oh, I just hit my head. You can slide this backwards and forwards. So like if I wanted to give more space for the back passengers, you've got that option. And then they actually have these handles here to help out with getting in and out. Got a little storage pocket. We've got some more USB ports, another 1500 watt inverter, some cup holders, climate zone here in the rear as well. Keyless entry for up front, and let's check it out. Blind spot monitoring with the mirrors. We've got soft touch, by the way, regular windows throughout. More soft touch down below, all of our window controls. You've got your mirror adjustments, tons of storage on the door panel. Now for those of you wondering, $1,235 for the payload, 3,500 pounds for the towing capacity. The front seat has that same cool design. Again, no perforations, power adjust both lumbar support. Power adjustment for the passenger, but no lumbar support. This is nice. You got a storage cubby here to the left of the steering wheel. You've got this for the outlet, power door function to turn that on or off for the sliding doors. Taking a look at the rest of the steering wheel, you've got soft touch all around. It's perforated on either side. Practical controls on the front, including for the volume, voice command controls. You've got your cruise control as well as it's adaptive, which is nice. Regular stocks there on the back. And this is where you can see full digital. And yeah, 35.3 miles per gallon. So yeah, I think it's pretty economical. And I don't drive slow. Like, I drive in the passing lane on the highway. I drive very fast. And so this is probably less than what a lot of people get. Just a backup camera in reverse. And then as for the rest of the infotainment system, it's decently quick to respond. It's not the newest units in like in the RAV4, but I think this is a good unit. You have a little volume control too. We've got a bunch of physical buttons for the climate, heated seats up front. There's the phone charging pad. It's kind of in an awkward place, but it works. Storage above the glove box. Got some cup holders. Of course, the shifter there. Parking brake. You got your auto hold, EV mode, drive mode select. This has no off-road modes, by the way. It's literally just sport, normal, and eco. That's what shows you this is a lipstick package too, in my opinion. Got some cup holders there, more storage, and then there's more storage underneath. There's storage everywhere. Finally, up top we've got some controls for like the lights, and then also the sunroof. Now, of course, this doesn't come cheap. You got that Toyota tax, right? So Woodland edition, total MSRP on this one is $52,490. Let's take this out and see how it performs. So let us set off in the Woodland. I was debating taking this up one of the steep hills by my house, but after looking at the clearances on this thing, and especially the wheelbase, it's very long for how little clearance this has. Yeah, I've decided not to go that route, because pretty much gonna probably, like, if I just the initial hill, I'd bottom out in this thing. And this isn't a knock against, like, hopefully people don't think this is a knock against the Sienna. It's just a knock against, like, this whole off-road minivan concept. Again, off-roading is very popular right now. And so every single manufacturer is throwing off-road packages on everything. And some vehicles, like, it's legit. And some vehicles, it's definitely not. You know what I mean? And this is one of the ones where I think it is. I think the concept's actually cool, because if you've ever driven a minivan, like, it's actually kind of easy to bottom out even on road. So having just an extra inch of clearance, it's actually pretty nice to have. So although it's a lipstick package for, like, actual off-roading, it does have utility. Like, with where I live, this is the only Sienna that I would be interested in. I wouldn't be interested in any other package, because I just want that little bit more clearance for the potholes and for the bumpy roads and everything. And yeah, having the smaller wheels with more sidewall on the tires also helps out with the rougher roads that we have. So less for off-roading and more for rough on-roading. Rough on-roading, yeah. We'll pretend like that works. That aside, it's comfortable. You know, you don't have, like, double pane windows or anything like that, but it's still pretty darn insulated in here. And I mean, I've been driving this thing like I would drive any other car. Merging on the interstate, I am full throttle. Like, I'm not trying, I did not do any hypermiling, did not have this in eco mode once. I just, literally, this is how I drive the thing all the time. Just full throttle. And that's the thing that I love about CVTs, and a lot of people don't like this, but you could just rev the crap out of them, and it holds the engine at high RPMs while you're accelerating, and then you get up to speed and then you let off. Like, that's just how I drive CVTs. Again, not the most economical, that's for sure, but that's just, I don't know, I don't like sitting there being slow. I like being speed racer in these things. And it's funny, because in, like, you know, the LX that has a lot of torque, I just sit there and ride the torque at low RPMs, but this I rev the crap out of the engine. But the thing that's funny is, like, that LX, I'm getting 16.5 miles per gallon, this I'm getting 35. So, and that's the thing that always impressed me about Toyota's eCVT hybrids. Like, you can just drive them like crazy, and it's like good fuel economy no matter. I remember a Prius, I rallied the crap out of a Prius, and I still got like 40 miles per gallon. So I like that. I like that you can just rally the crap out of the car and you still get good gas mileage. And again, I've been critical of Toyota's small fuel tanks, but like on this car it's fine. Because like when you have over 30 miles per gallon, if you have a 18-gallon fuel tank, that's fine. It's in their bigger cars where they still do an 18-gallon fuel tank roughly, where it's like, yeah, that's not enough capacity. You need to have like a 25-gallon fuel tank in that LX, for example. So, and this also shows my lack of bias, because I'll talk crap on my car, and then I'll praise this car that I don't own, because it is really, it's genuinely good. The only downside I would say is the pricing. Minivans are too expensive. This is supposed to be like a family utility vehicle, and this isn't just a Toyota thing, this is everyone. Not a lot of families can afford a $50,000 vehicle. Yeah, some can, but this is definitely like, there's this whole thing right in our you know, in the world right now where most people just can't afford to have kids, and this is part of the problem, you know, because once you have more, like, because I've got 2 kids. Once you go above 2, you have to have a 3-row, and then all the 3-row vehicles are like 40,000 plus brand new, 50,000 plus brand new. So it keeps a lot of people, like, people look at that and they go, yeah, no, I can't have any kids, can't have 1 kid even, just because of how expensive the vehicles are, and then you look at everything else. So I wish that Toyota and the other minivan automakers would make like a super basic, bare bones, like no power doors, the least amount of stuff possible, $30,000 brand new minivan. And that's still a lot of money, but that is what is needed. You know, I think they've got I think Toyota has the $50,000-$60,000 minivans covered. You got it covered, Toyota, you're good. Try to figure out how to make a $30,000 minivan so that, you know, families that don't have so much can have good utility, because that's ultimately what these are. This is the type of vehicle, you buy it, you keep it for 20 years. And I guess if you also do the math on that, like if you do spend $50,000 on this, if you somehow can afford the payment and everything, this is a vehicle that you could keep for 20 years. You just do all the regular maintenance and everything. The powertrain's reliable. The vehicle itself is pretty darn good. Again, Toyota's last when they're done right, when they don't have turbos. You know what I mean? So I guess that is one thing that could make this quote-unquote more affordable in a sense for families, is instead of buying a new smaller car every few years, you could just buy one of these, keep it for 20, and split up the $50,000 over 20 years. I'm not saying take out a loan that long, but you know, you have a loan for maybe 5 to 7 years and then you pay it off, and then the rest of it's just maintenance and insurance and gas and all of that. So let me know your thoughts, but I think the Sienna is still the best. It's the GOAT. Honda doesn't have all-wheel drive or a hybrid. Chrysler has a hybrid but doesn't have all-wheel drive with the hybrid and doesn't have reliability. Kia, no all-wheel drive with the hybrid, and same with Chrysler. They just don't have the reliability when it comes to this particular product. They've got a good warranty, you know, but I think that it's only Toyota and Honda that can make it to high miles, and the Toyota tends to be the best out of the bunch. And so it's like, if you're looking at a minivan, it's like it gets the best fuel economy, it is the most reliable, and it's practical. It's not cheap, but I think I would rather buy this than any of the other minivans. This is the only minivan for me personally that I'm gonna turn the windows aside. This is the only minivan for me personally that I would seriously consider right now, unless there's major changes by the other minivan makers.